And welcome to Sarat Gyanarsa. I hope you all are fine, and today we are going to discuss our class 12th biology. In biology it is actually a zoology chapter, and from today in zoology portion we are going to start with this. So as you know that in the reproduction portion, two main top chapters are there. First is plant reproduction and second is human reproduction. So yes, human reproduction is the first chapter of zoology and plant reproduction is the first chapter of our botany. So from today, what are we going to do exactly in this series? So in this series, first of all, you will complete the whole chapter of this human reproduction. In this chapter, what you have to do, first of all, I'm going to talk and discuss this chapter with you. Also, as NCERT is little difficult, if you will start with NCERT simply due to, if you have already, first of all, there is always an advice for NCERT that first of all you have to study the chapter from your teacher. Then if you will read or take a look on your NCERT, you will understand, you will relate each and everything in NCERT. But if you will think that you can start from NCERT directly, it will be difficult and simply it will take your time only. Then it will pass your time. No benefits. Okay, so in the same way, what am I going to say that let's start our human reproduction chapter. Let's take an introduction and lecture by lecture. This is our lecture number 1. Okay, this is our lecture number 1. So lecture by lecture we are going to complete the portion, and after completing till a certain amount, we are going to read NCERT. We will take a look on NCERT too, and it means I am going to present NCERT here on the screen. Okay, so I hope you all have understood. Let's start with the reproduction. First of all you tell me what is meant by reproduction. We are going to start with a simple point. What is reproduction? What is reproduction? So simple. Reproduction. Re means again. Production means to produce. So, if what is reproduction here? If it is a pen and I want to reproduce I want to reproduce this pen. So the process of making two or another copy of its same parts, same you can say characteristic, it will be reproduction. For example, if I am saying that we are humans, okay, and in humans we have sexual reproduction. So we have two partners. So two partners are involved in human reproduction. So they will together done a process that is known as coitus, and with the help of their body structure, because the coitus, why they are doing coitus is for helping, is for insemination, okay, so that their egg can meet. And after some time of gestation, after some time of time period, what will happen? The female will give birth to an offspring, and this offspring will have property of both father and mother. It will have genes of both father and mother. I hope you have understood. Let's write the definition of reproduction. First of all, let me write the reproduction. It is simple. What can be definition? It is the process of production of offspring. However, it is not an essential feature of life. It is not an essential feature of life, but the reproduction process has its own importance. What is its importance? Tell me. For continuity of generation, yes. For continuity of generation. Let me tell you that can you remember what is meant by essential features? Yes, essential feature of a living organism is actually those features, yeah, those characteristics which are very important for surviving. Okay. For example, nutrition, even metabolism, which occurs in all type of living organism. Without metabolism, there is no living organism. Even if it is a bacteria or an elephant, or even if they are humans, everyone has metabolism. So a metabolism is one of the essential features of the living organisms. However, reproduction is not an essential feature. If any, for example, if we have a few human couples, they decide to uh, not give birth to their offsprings. Okay. For example, if a male and female, if they are couple and they have decided that they will not produce offsprings, if, for example, if they have some reproductive problem, they are unable to produce babies or offspring. So what will happen? They will not be able to, because after some time, this female will also die, this male will also die. So simply their generation can't be continued. Yes, this is means now you have understood what is the importance of reproduction. Yes, simply if now take another case. If any human couple is there and they want to make offsprings, they want to make their own baby. Okay, so what they will do, they will engage in its practices, in copulation practices. So what will happen? And together they will, for example, they have given birth to two offsprings, one boy, one girl. What will happen? Later this boy will also engage with another woman and they will continue. Means, can you see that with the reproduction you can say that bloodline is continuing. However, I'm not going in deep that after some time the characteristic start fading. I'm not saying that something like this. A very simple thing that you can relate from real life. People used to say that it is from this bloodline, it is from this type of bloodline, it is very important. Now, so even if we used to talk about something like this, that this, even today we used to talk about that who is the bloodline, where is the real bloodline generation of Shivaji, ठीक है, या फिर महात्मा गांधी, ठीक है. Means, what am I saying? I am saying that if I am, for example, if I am from the bloodline of Mahatma Gandhi, simply, so what does it mean? It means that in the generations of Mahatma Gandhi, when Mahatma Gandhi died, they have their offsprings. From their offsprings, they have their own grand offsprings. Then they have great grand offsprings. Now you have understood, means the blood is related. I hope you have understood. So now you have understood what is meant by reproduction. Reproduction means it is the process of giving birth to offsprings. Then what is its importance? Its importance is for continuity of generation. Now let's talk about now we come to our topic. Our topic is human reproduction. Let's talk about the characteristic of human reproduction. Human reproduction. So human reproduction have mainly two mainly two characteristics which is also given in NCERT. First is they used to do, they have characteristic of sexual reproduction. Second is the humans are viviparous. Yes. Now I hope most of the students or like me, they will be in starting, they will be unable to recall what is meant by viviparous, what is meant by viviparous. Simply, can you remember oviparous? Oviparous, viviparous, we have studied in smaller classes, class 8th or 9th, yes, 6th or 7th. So simply, let me tell you, if you can't remember, simply don't put pressure in here. Let's just talk about it. So human reproduction, sexual reproduction, you already know. Sexual reproduction means gametes of two different gametes of two different sorry gametes of two different genders are involved. From male, it will be sperm. From female, it will be ova. And together they will meet to form a zygote, one single cell. Okay. So for now, just understand that what now in simple words you can also say that sexual reproduction means two partners are involved. Not any female, not only a female is important, not only male is important. Means both genders are important, male as well as female. Okay. So and what is meant by viviparous? So simply, viviparous means they used to give birth directly to young ones. Yes, and oviparous means those who give birth in eggs. Okay. After some time, the egg used to break and they will give birth to young ones. But in humans who are viviparous, what is meant by viviparous? Viviparous means they give birth directly to young, they give birth directly to young ones. I hope you have understood. So this is the introduction of this chapter. From now I hope you all have understood. This was the introduction, as I have told you that what we have understood till now we have understood what is meant by reproduction. Then what is the importance of reproduction? We have discussed about the reproduction and its importance. Then we have understood, we have came to our topics, or you can say chapter's name. What is the chapter's name? The human reproduction. So in human reproduction there are two main characteristics. So what are the two main characteristics? First is the human reproduction is a sexual reproduction. The human reproduction you used to have viviparous. They are viviparous. The humans are viviparous. What is meant by this? That they used to give birth directly to young ones. Yes, simply a small baby. Okay. Through delivery. Okay, I hope you all have understood. Now, what will be our third topic? Our third topic, which is given in also introduction of NCERT. What is that? Steps of human reproduction. So there are, let me count. First is our gametophyte, gametogenesis. Second is our insemination, then implantation, fertilization, implantation. Then we have gestation, parturition. I hope 6 steps are there in human reproduction. So first is our spermatogenesis, in which inside female body, the female body used to perform their physical, you can say, they use their reproductive organs to produce gametes for reproduction. It happens both it happens both separately in human beings. So it starts from the teenage, that in girls during puberty they used to start growing their reproductive part, their primary reproductive part, their secondary reproductive parts. In this in same Similarly, in human males, they were during teenage, about from 13 to 14 years, they during puberty they start getting maturation in their private parts, in their primary private parts, and then secondary parts, secondary sexual parts. Okay. Then the second is insemination. Insemination means second our step is insemination, third is fertilization, fourth is implantation, fifth is gestation, sixth is parturition. Let's come to our next topic to talk about steps of human reproduction in detail. Let's come to it. Okay, so let's come to our next topic. What is our next topic? So as I have told you that we are going to continue with the topic, that is steps of human reproduction. So as I have told you that 6 steps are there, and what are we going to do in this chapter? Now let's discuss what are we going to do in this whole chapter. So first of all, I will write all the 6 steps, then I am going to tell you all about this chapter. Okay, so first of all, let me write. The first step is gametogenesis. Second is insemination. Third, fertilization. Fourth is implantation. Fifth step of ours is gestation. Sixth step is parturition. Okay, so if you will read, then you will find that I have written all the 6 steps of human reproduction. First is our gametogenesis, second is our insemination, third is our fertilization, fourth is our implantation, sixth is our gestation, and sixth and the last one is parturition. So actually this is the, you can say, scientific name. No, I can't say very scientific name, but it is given in our NCERT. And what you have to do in this whole 6 steps, a new tiny human is born in this world. Yes, simple. So this is, after this all this 6 step, we will complete our one human reproduction. Okay, if one one child will be born. Okay, simple. So what are we going to do next? So I'm going to talk about, we are going to write a small definition of all these topics. Yes, first what is gametogenesis, second what is insemination, third is what is fertilization, implantation, gestation, and parturition. Okay, so one by one we are going to write the definition of all of them, all the 6. All the 6. Then after you will understand each definition of each. For example, if I am saying that gametogenesis, insemination, fertilization, implantation, gestation, parturition, these are all the whole topics you are going on, which your whole chapter is covered. But after understanding all the definition, you will understand eventually. Let's talk about gametogenesis. So gametogenesis is simple, the process of production of gametes. Production of gametes. Okay. In males, for male we will use this sign, and for female we use this sign. So in male it will be sperm. As we know that in male the sperm is the gamete. So the process of production of sperm is known as spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. And in female, as we know that the reproductive gamete is, what is that? Ova. So oogenesis. Oogenesis, yes. Now let's talk about insemination. Insemination means transfer of male gametes in female genitals. Yes, yeah, you can say a reproductive tract. It will be more suitable. A reproductive tract. Now I hope you all are understanding. Okay? Fertilization, fusion of male and female gametes to form zygote. Okay. Implantation, the process of embedding blastocyst into endometrium. Then gestation, it is the embryonic time period of embryonic development. Time period of embryonic development. Last but not the least, parturition, delivery of baby. Yes. So by hearing this word, I hope you have already understood that our reproduction will complete here. Delivery of baby. Now let's talk about, as in I already know that these words are new. For example, blastocyst, what is endometrium, what is blastocyst, then what is meant by transfer of gametes. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you. Gametogenesis means, as you know that in puberty in puberty, in males and in females, in the teenagers, what happens, they start getting the reproductive maturation. For example, in females, the reproductive sex, the sex characteristic and primary sex characteristics in both male and female boys and girls will start occurring. Yes. So you can see in females, you can see that the breast will start growing its size. Also, they will start their menstruation. The girls will start their menstruation. And in males, they will start getting taller. They will have broad shoulders. They will get you can say hairs in their body, like on their cheeks. Okay. Then they will also have their primary sex organs enlargement. Okay. Also their ejaculation will start. So this is about the puberty. Means the reproductive maturation will start slowly, and it will stop until 18 or 19 years. The puberty will end in 18 and 19 years. Then, but gametogenesis is continued. So this is the process of gametogenesis. So when a female and male will come close and they will do physical intercourse या फिर coitus together. So what will happen, the copulatory organ in males, they will transfer their own gamete. What is male gamete? That is sperm. They will transfer the sperm in female genitals, inside the female genitals, yani ki female reproductive tract. So from the female reproductive tract, as you know that sperm used to swim inside the. They have tail. They can move. They have the ability of motility. Then what will happen? They will go and meet with ova. The sperm will meet with ova and they will get fused and form a single cell that is known as zygote, fertilized cell. Now after this zygote, first this single zygote will convert into from one zygote it will divide into two cell. From two cell it will divide into four cell. From four cell, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, from 4 cell it will divide into 8 cell. So it is dividing like this: 1 into 2, 2 into 4. From 4 it will be, means these circles are the eggs. So here you can see that they are dividing. Eventually they will form a big, you can say small ball shaped, not ball shaped, spherical shaped cluster of cells, cluster of fertilized cell, that will be known as blastocyst. And this blastocyst will as actually there are 3 layers in uterus. So in the most inside layer, this blastocyst will go and implant it. They will embed in the layers. Okay? Inside the layer it will embed. Okay? And this process is known as implantation. चिपक जाता है. ठीक है? Then from this period, after the implantation, slowly it will start. What will happen? As you know that embryonic development is normally of about 9 months, few days, 9 months and 3 or 4 days. So embryonic development, as this blastocyst will get implanted inside the endometrium layer of the uterus, what will happen? Slowly this embryonic development will occur, and that blastocyst will convert into a tiny human being, a tiny newborn. And in the process of parturition, it means when the timing of 9 months 3 days will be completed, what will happen? There will be a process known as parturition. It is actually the technical language, and what does it mean? That the baby will be delivered by doctors and nurses. So this is all about our reproduction. I hope after discussing the steps of the human reproduction, I hope you have understood, you have related all the steps. Now let's talk about what are we going to discuss in this chapter. Yes, in this chapter, whatever things you have understood in this topic, everything will be discussed in very detail. Yes, everything. For example, in gametogenesis, you have studied about the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. There will be 2 different topics in the gametogenesis process, in which you will understand how exactly from the male germ cell it will convert into spermatozoa or sperms. Yes. But before all these, we are going to talk about the male reproductive organ, female reproductive organ. Okay? So this is all about the steps of human reproduction. Let's come to our next topic. What will be our next topic? Our next topic is going to be small differentiation. What is meant by primary sex organs and secondary sex organs. Yeah, you can say we are going to talk about types of sex organs in next topic. So let's come to our next topic. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first of all, let me erase it. Delete, delete, and let me erase all of them. So I'm going to draw that flowchart, and you will understand each and everything very smoothly. So let's start. This is our so male. You know, this is a sign of male. Okay. Male reproductive system. Male reproductive system. So male reproductive system. Primary sex organs. So can you recall what is meant by primary sex organs? So primary sex organ means those organs which are very important, and they have two works. Okay, from two works you can recognize them. First, they produce the gamete, the reproductive gamete. Second is they used to produce hormones. So now tell me, who will be the primary sex organs of male? It will be, you know who it is? It is testis. Yes, it is testis. Why? Because testis used to do the production of the sperms, also the formation of androgens, a kind of, testosterone, a kind of androgen. Okay? Then let's talk about now our male accessory duct. So in male accessory duct there are three things. First, retitestis. Okay. Second, vasa efferentia. Third is, what is third one? Third. Okay, I remember. That is epididymis. Epididymis actually. You can pronounce whatever you relate. I'm also a student like you all, but I have understand this chapter. I have completed this chapter. Okay, you can ask me any question related if you have any doubt. So epididymis, and last one will be vas deferens. Then we are going to talk about male accessory glands, yani ki those glands which are involved in male reproductive organs. Duct means those ducts which are involved in male reproductive system. Okay, male accessory glands. In male accessory gland, we have seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles. Second, we have bulbo urethral glands. third is, no, also let me, this is additional information. So bulbourethral is sometimes also known as Cooper's gland. Now last gland is prostate gland. Now let's talk about external genitalia. External genitalia in males. ठीक है? Everything is about male. In external genitalia, it involves, first is penis, and second is scrotum. Okay, so let's discuss a little. So first of all, what are we going to do next? Next, as I have told you, I am going to open the images that I have already shown you, and we are going to label it with all of them. Yes, we will label where is radiotestis, where is vasa efferentia, where is epididymis, then where is vasa deferens. Okay. Then we are going to find in image where is our seminal vesicle, where is our bulbourethral gland, where is prostate gland. Okay, then penis and scrotum. So actually what is going to happen in lecture number 2 and next lecture number 3. So in this lecture we are going to continue with our new slide, in which we are going to start with our discussion with image, in which we are going to label all of them. Okay, we are going to label all of them also. Then after labeling, from the next lecture number 3, what are we going to do? We are going to complete testis, the primary sex organ. Okay, in after testis we are going to talk about spermatogenesis. Okay, so formation of, matlab, we are going to talk about the function of testis and in a little detail, and then after completing testis we are going to start with male accessory duct, in which we are going to talk about each of them one by one. We are going to talk about them in detail, their features, their functions. Then this will same continue with male accessory duct and external genitalia. Okay, so you can say that this is the flowchart on which you can say our whole male reproductive system will be based. So let's first of all, now we are going to put our image here and we will discuss them. So this is our image. Sorry, give me 2 minutes only. Okay, so this is our male reproductive system, of human male. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to focus on this diagram. But I think we should not start with this. We are going to start with our first posterior image. Okay, so this is our posterior image. We are going to plot them. So this is our, can you recognize what is this? This is our urinary bladder. Okay, urinary bladder. So which duct is coming inside the urinary bladder? It will be simply ureters. Okay. Then can you see, this is our penis. In penis, this will be our opening of the penis. So it will be urethra. Then what is this? it is inside the scrotal bag. What is this? This is our testis. Okay, in testis there is epididymis. You just have to understand things logically. Then from the testis a tube is going through and loop over the ureters and will finally join inside the urethra. Can you see? This is our prostate gland, which is around the urethra and under the urethra, under the urinary bladder. This is our bulbourethral gland. ठीक है? This is our bulbourethral gland. I hope here one gland is missing here. Let me draw it first. Okay. So let's click our slide. Let's come to our next topic, in which we are going to, I'm coming by labeling all these things. No, I'm going to continue with this. Okay. So I'm going to label them one by one. This is our ureter. This is let's assume this as seminal vesicle for now. I'm going to draw the bulbourethral gland, seminal vesicles. Okay. Then it is erectile tissue of penis. Then it is scrotal bag. It is testis. This is our glans penis. You know, in penis there is extra, they are more enlarged inside in the ending. Okay, so let's assume this is as our penis, this is as our penis. So in the ending of the penis, where penis will end, it is actually enlarged here. Can you see? So this enlarged part is known as glans penis. Glans penis. So I will write the glans penis. Glans penis. It is our epididymis. Then this is our urethra. This is our prostate gland. Then this is our vas deferens. I hope I have plotted everything. So now first of all I am going to draw the bulbourethral gland. So bulbourethral gland will simply here, and it will be labeled as bulbo okay. So now I have labeled our posterior side view of our male reproductive system. Now what you have to do, you have to just imagine it in your mind. Then when now you have to imagine that if this is something like this, if my hand is like this, okay, if my hand is like this, and now you have plotted everything. This is my palm, this is my fingers, okay, this is my fingers, okay. Now what happen if I will do a side view? Now you have to do, you will understand, you just have to, in mind you have to turn it in, you can say you have to imagine, you have to make image in your mind, just like this. If something is like this, if this is here, okay, if this is the front view, what if I will make it a side view? So how you will label? ठीक है. In the same way, if my hand is something like this, ठीक है, you have plotted everything here, ठीक है. For example, take it as an example that it is some kind of thing and you have plotted it here, ठीक है. Now you have understood in the front view. Now you will simply, you have to imagine what will be the part if you will start seeing through the side, something like this. How you will imagine? In the same way, if you, first of all, you have to make image of frontal male reproductive system. First of all, you have to imagine something like this because it is actually from the side view, पीछे का. मतलब वैसे है, अगर सामने हमारे पास रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन है तो हम वैसे पीछे से देख रहे हैं, ठीक है, हम उसको पीछे से. अब क्या हो अगर हम उसके साइड व्यू पे जाएं, तो ये हमारा दिस इमेज इज एक्चुअली आवर side view. Yes, side view. First you will understand, first of all you have to understand about, you have to learn, you have to understand this image, then automatically if you will imagine in your mind, you will able to plot it. So let's come to our next topic to continue with our plotting now in our side view of male reproductive system. Let's come to our next. So let's come to our again. Let's continue our video. Actually, device was needing some kind of break and needed some time to cool down. That's because there was a transition, but there is no topic change. As you can see from the screen, we have the same screen. We have the same handmade drawing here. You can say diagram of the male reproductive system. So now, as I have already drawn it, let's first of all let me explain the process roughly without labeling, but then we are going to label it, all this diagram, all the parts of this diagram. Then I am again going to repeat the process, whatever process, yeah, how the gametes, yeah, sperms, male gametes used to travel here. We are again going to repeat the process so that you can understand. So first of all, let's start with a rough explanation. So as you can see, and what do you think this bag-like structure, what it will be? Simply, can you understand? It will be simply urinary bladder. It will store urine. As how you can guess it? First of all, this is a bag-like structure, and this bag-like structure is continuing through the last of external genital. Means you can say that this is some kind of genitals, whether it can be for urine, whether it can be for undigested food, or now after studying the reproductive system, it is also for the ejaculation. So what it can be? Simply as there is urinary bladder for storing the urine collected from the ureters through the kidney. Okay, so we can guess this is urinary bladder. So you have to take this bag-like structure as a reference. Okay, to start labeling. First of all, torso. Let me first of all write it here. Urinary bladder. Okay, so this was urinary bladder. So what it will be? As the pipe is continuous, so can I say that this blue line, if I will use red pen and if I will fill this page, this pipe, what is this duct? Simply this duct will be our urethra, and you can spot here that this is the final, you can say ending of the urethra, and there is opening. Why I'm saying ending of urethra? Because here the urethra will get in, and simply there is opening here. So can I say this part as urinary opening? But also you need to know that somewhere it will be written urinary meatus. So urinary opening and urinary meatus is, both things are same. So first of all, I have another idea that let me choose a color. For example, let's use this orange color. Okay, orange. Actually, how we can differentiate the namings? Okay, so this is for differentiation. This will be the labeling, so that we can differentiate it and it will be easy to understand, easy to see, easy to highlight. It is simply highlighted. Then now can you tell me what is this? What is this? And can you recognize this oval structure? What it can be? Yes, it can be primary sex organs of the male reproductive system. Simply what it is? Testis. And we have already studied, we have talked about it. If you have continuously seeing my lecture, you know I have already told you that testes are present inside the scrotum, या फिर a bag like structure, a loose bag like structure, that is known as scrotal bag या फिर scrotum. ठीक है, so let me write here scrotum या फिर scrotal bag. No, let's complete with only scrotum. Okay, so this is our scrotum bag. Now what is this? As I have already told you, this is our testis. Let's highlight it. Testis. Then let me tell you that in the testis, on the upper surface of testis, a duct, there is a duct that is highly coiled. The duct which is very highly coiled means they are not straight, they are highly coiled, and they are present on the, या फिर you can say sticked to the surface of testis. That you can you see here that in both diagram, whether it is this testis or this, you can see both here on the surface a highly coiled duct is present, and when this duct is leaving, it will form a single straight duct. So this highly coiled duct will be called as epididymis. Epididymis, and let's highlight it. Now when this highly coiled duct will get modified to form a straight line and will leave the, when finally leave the surface area of testis, it will be known as vas deferens. Now you will ask me that how we can recall these things. So simply you have to open this diagram, open this flow chart. Sorry, this flow chart. Here we have means you can say that whatever we have discussed here, we will plot it here. Yes, if we are discussing accessory duct, so retitestis and vasa efferentia, these two duct is simply present inside the testis, So simply the retitestis and the vasa efferentia, these two ducts will not be can't be labeled in this diagram, but in the cross section, in the transverse section of the testis, when we will see the anatomy of testis, simply we are going to discuss all these 4 ducts in detail, and mainly you will also found retitestis and vasa efferentia there also. But can you see that we have already plotted our testis? Then we have epididymis, which is one of the duct, and we have already plotted the epididymis. Then we have vas deferens. We have already plotted the duct, that is vas deferens. Yes. Now let's move it. Now can you see that what is this? What is this? So this is actually one of the gland. We have 3 glands in our male reproductive system. First is prostate gland, second is seminal vesicles, and bulbourethral gland. So you know what is surprising, that in this diagram we are going to plot prostate gland, seminal vesicle, and bulbourethral, means all 3 will be present in this diagram. What is that? Can you see here? What is this? So it's actually seminal vesicle. It is one of the gland of which are involved in male reproductive system are seminal vesicle. They are 2 in number on both sides. Can you see? They are 2 in number. So I will label here seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles. Now can you see something? Can you connect each things? When you will see here, when you will observe, you will see that whatever duct is coming from the testis, that is also known as vasa deferens, this duct of vasa deferens will meet and form a common duct with the seminal vesicle duct. Means whatever duct is coming out from the seminal vesicle gland, it is joining with the vasa deferens. So this duct is also known as common ejaculatory duct. Common ejaculatory duct. Then I hope you have understood. Now coming to this heart-like structure. Yes, this is not actually heart-like structure. This is some kind of, you will see in the bookish diagram. It is simply like this. Okay? Not like heart shape. This is present around the urethra and below the urinary bladder. So this is also one of the gland. What is that? Prostate gland. Let's highlight it. Let's highlight it. Okay. Now we have already labeled testis, epididymis, vas deferens. Then we have already plotted our prostate gland, seminal vesicle. Remaining is bulbourethral gland, penis, and scrotum. Simply we have already labeled the scrotum, and this is our penis. No need to say that I can't see the penis. Simply it is penis. Okay, one of the external genitalia of which is present outside of the body of males. Okay, so this is actually as I have already told you, bulbourethra is small bulb-like, means small round-like structure. So round-like structure gland is also known as bulbourethral gland. Yes, it is and they are present on either side of the urethra. Bulbourethral gland. this was one thing is remaining, that can you see here that this is our penis? Okay, this is whatever you can pronounce, penis or penis. So this is our penis. Can you see that it is not straight? It is actually at this part, it is enlarged part. Can you see this? At this place it is enlarged. Why this is enlarged? So simply there is erectile tissue here which are responsible for the erection of the penis during the coitus, but this area, this enlarged part of the penis is known as glans penis. So it will be directly asked in exams or MCQs, so you have to answer. I hope you have understood. So now we have labeled our diagram that we have drawn by ourselves. Okay, I hope you all have practiced with me. Now let's begin with our that diagram which we have picked in the web. Okay, so this is our diagram. We are going to start labeling. If you have already understood this diagram, this handmade diagram, because if you will directly try to label this diagram, simply you can't understand the concept. If you will practice if you will try to practice your own diagram, you can make an exam, you can draw the diagram in exam. But if you can't, simply you will get, as you know, that if you will search male reproductive system unlabeled diagrams, okay, you have to search it, you will find thousands of diagrams which will have different parts. But if you haven't practiced this one, you will be get confused. Now first of all you will get confused here. Yes, simply see here that this is our bulbourethral gland, and you will say that this is also our bulbourethral gland because they are small. No, this small gland are actually seminal vesicles which will make a common ejaculatory duct. Yes, common ejaculatory duct with vasa deferens and their own seminal vesicle duct to form common ejaculatory duct. I hope you have understood. Now what you have to do, you have to pause this video and now start making diagrams. Let me plot it. Okay, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Also one part is missing here, so I will draw here for you. That is so this is actually the diagram, and what you have to do, you have to label all of them. Now you have to open your copy and one by one, according to the counting, you have to plot all the diagrams, all the parts of this male reproductive system. Now you have to pause this video. I hope you all have solved. Now you have to check with me. Now I'm going to write the real answers and you have to check with me, okay, your answers. First of all, as I have already explained to you everything, how you can relate and give them name. Not you have to give the name, you have to remember the name, huh? So here, as I have already make you relate that this bag-like structure will always be our urinary bladder. So if any pair of duct is coming and joining the urinary bladder, so simply what it will be, it must be ureters. Then here we can see that this is our testis. So can I write that I think it is I should reduce the size of and wait for me for 2 minutes. So yes, the answer will be ureters. Then, and as you can see that this is our testis. So can I remember the name testis? So simply I will write the testis. Now, as we have already told you that on the surface of testis at the posterior part. Now I am giving you one more point, that here we can say epididymis. It's found in only posterior part. However, when we will study about the male accessory duct, you will understand in detail. But let me tell you that as I have already made you understood that if any highly coiled duct is present on the which is connected to the surface of testis, it will be simply epididymis. Yes. So seventh we can write epididymis. Then now this is our testis. This is our testis. So from epididymis, if we will move forward, we will find that this is our vas deferens. So can I write that this 10 number is actually our vas deferens? Yes. Vas deferens. Now, another thing. Now we can see here that this is something like, as I have already told you that before plotting, I have already said that most of the students along with me, okay, will mistake this for bulbourethral gland. They will think that this is so small and this is kind of big. So as I have already warned you about it, I hope you all have corrected it. All of you have not done wrong. So can you see here that this gland, even if you are unable to guess what is the name of that thing, can you see that that duct is forming something common with vas deferens? So what is that duct? Common ejaculatory duct. And what is the gland? That is seminal vesicle. So can I write that second number is our seminal vesicle? Wait. Seminal vesicles. Then now let's come to our part of penis. Okay. So in case of penis, can you see that this main duct is our what? Urethra. So 8 number, it will be urethra. Then around the urethra we have this orange like structure. What it is? Can you tell me orange like structure? What it is? It is actually the what is that? Prostate gland. Yes. Can you see here? As I have, and before plotting, before giving you this, before saying you that pause this video and do the answer, I have already warned you about this gland. So simply it will be prostate gland. Prostate gland. Then in case of penis, can you see that this enlarged part of our penis is simply the glans penis. What? Glans penis. Then here we can see what these muscles, what these yellow things are. So simply, as I have already told you, they are the erectile tissue that helps in erection, that are responsible for the erection of the penis. Okay. Third will be our erectile tissues. Then now what this 11 number is? Can you see that what is 11 number? 11 number is pointing to a very small, I have drawn it, drawn it in extra. What is this? This is around, this is present on either side of the urethra. What it is known as? Yes, simply it is bulbourethral. Here you can say Cooper's gland. Bulbourethral, or you can say Cooper's gland. Now, what is remaining? Yes, fourth number. So, if you will see the fourth number, can you see outline? This is our outline. Now, also this is our penis, and you can see that this let me tell you, this is our bag-like structure, and inside these two testes are present. Can you tell me that what is this? Can you guess what it is? Can you let me know what you have written in your copy? In your answer, what you have think about it? So it is simply our scrotum. Okay? Or you can say scrotal bag. Now let's come to our next type of diagram. It is also, now whatever diagram, this is our main this was our main diagram, okay? But now we are going to talk about that diagram which is also present in our NCERT, okay? So let me plot it here. Let me put that. Okay, open it. So this is our diagram. As I have already told you, you have to do this. Now I hope you all have understood, if you have understood this handmade diagram of human reproductive system, and if you have plotted mostly of all of the labeling, if you have done it right, if you have done it right, if you have done it without any cheating, unfaithfulty, then I hope you will understood this diagram too. Yes. Now, why I am saying this? Because you can see that this is the actual diagram. This is the actual diagram that helps you to understand the things in deep. Now, if you have understood, this is the posterior. Yani if this is our reproductive system, in front we have penis, in sideways we can say we have scrotal bag. So this is the drawing. This drawing, it is actually from the posterior. Okay? Back view of the posterior view of the reproductive part. Now what you are seeing it from the back. Now you have to flip this diagram to like this, and it will form diagram like something like this. Now you have to relate it and do easily, you can say, do easily labeling. Okay? So first of all, I am going to write the names one by one. Then also let me tell you, in this diagram you can make mistakes. Yes, you can simply make mistakes because there can be confusion. But for clearing all those confusion, for clearing all those doubts, you need to understand all the properties of a male accessory gland, male accessory gland. So after finishing this male reproductive system, after finishing this whole reproductive system including primary sex organs, mainly accessory duct and accessory gland, even including external genitalia, when you will understand all these three main parts, you will simply able to do no mistakes, you have negligible mistake in plotting these kinds of diagram, if labeling these kinds of diagrams. So simply I am going to label it, and then we are going to do one more thing. And what it will be? It will be actually, I have to explain this scrotal bag too. Yes, as we all know that scrotal bag is actually single, and inside the scrotal bag we have boundaries in which two you can say scrotal chamber, two scrotal chambers are there, and in each scrotal chamber we have one testis. Okay?